Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you a review and a tutorial using some of Anastasia Beverly Hills' new products that they launched in the last few months. I'll be showing you the Prism Palette and creating this eye look with it. I'll also be showing you the Sugar Glow Kit and as well as the Radiant Blush Kit. And we'll be creating this look today using these products. There's a few other great Anastasia Beverly Hills products that I'll be showing you today, but I use them all the time and you'll probably see them in my previous videos, like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and then I'm also using this lipstick here, or lip gloss, sorry, in Kristen. So keep watching and subscribe and you will see how I created this look. Okay, so I'm going to show you this eye look with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism Palette. So the packaging is like a velvet over top. I wasn't sure if it was or wasn't, but whenever I received it, I was like, oh, it's so nice. And it feels so good. So here are the colors that are inside. This bright yellow one stood out the most to me. And I think I can incorporate it into a look today. I'm winging it. As you may already know, that's kind of what I like to do. I like to wing it and see what I can come up with for a look. Okay, so I'm going to start with Unity and I'm just going to put it all over my lid. I'm not going to put it above here on my brow because I don't need to. I'm just going to put it on my lid today. I don't know if you can see a difference from this eye to this eye. So this eye doesn't have it on, and then this eye does. Okay, so Unity kind of blends in with my skin tone. It's kind of like a nudish, more like fleshy color, but it has like more of a yellowish undertone like my skin kind of does. So honestly, it looks like I just put more like concealer on. It didn't really make too much of a difference in the sense of lighting up my eyelids, but I mean, it's not bad. You can kind of see it, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So that color might not be the best one for me, but now let's do the crease. Okay, so for the crease, I think I'm actually going to do, which one I want to do. I think I'm going to do Saturn. Saturn looks like it's going to be a pretty good color to use. Okay, so now I have Saturn in my crease and on my actual brow bone. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a little bit of a darker color and I'm going to blend it in there as well. For the darker color I'm going to use Parallel. So it's this brown color here. I'm going to use my blending brush for this one. Okay, so using Parallel and darkening up the bottom like the lower part of my crease and my brow bone actually helps a lot, because I found that the Saturn was maybe a little too orange for my liking, but now when I blend in parallel with it, it actually looks really nice and it gives it more like a burnt kind of touch to it. So far with these colors and this palette, I find that it is very, very like powdery, so like when you're using it, you don't need much, and you kind of find out the hard way, because I've never used this palette before. This is the first time, and first look I'm creating with it. So as I'm using it, I noticed that you don't need very much. If you put too much on, you get kind of like what happened when I was applying Saturn. It was like a lot, and I was like, oh my god, I need to keep blending. That was kind of cool. But you want to, it does make it better maybe when you do blend in with a little bit darker color. If you accidentally put a little bit too much of the lighter colors, the darker colors do sit and blend really nicely. So far, just blending those two, the Saturn and parallel color together, worked really good, and like they blended so easily, and like they're easy to control, so it might actually give you a lot on the brush, but it doesn't just kind of like powder everywhere. If you have a proper brush, it will stay in the one place where you're blending. It's pretty good so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some concealer, and I'm actually going to lighten up my eyelid again, because I'm going to apply some other colors and I want them to really stand out. If I try to apply them now, as you can kind of see, I have a little bit of parallel and Saturn on my lid, so it won't look as nice and crisp when I apply the other colors, especially this like sphere color, this bright yellow. Oh, we're using it today. Okay, so now that I've done that, and you can see it's lighter now on my lid again, now we can start applying sphere to the inner lid. I'm going to try to make it and keep it into my inner lid the most, and then we're going to start blending a little bit of a darker color, and then we're going to go into one of these like sparkly colors. I don't know if I want to use brown for the outer or oh serious. I can't decide yet, so we'll see. I'm just going to go with it and see what happens here. Okay, so sphere. It is like really on that brush. Like sometimes when you have these lighter colors, you put it in the brush and you have to like really like scrub it on there. This one, you don't have to at all. Like look at how pigmented that is. It's perfect. Okay, so there's sphere on both inner lids. It really stands out quite a bit. I mean, I thought it would be a lot more yellow like it is when I put it on the brush as well as on the palette, but I feel like I would have to layer it on quite a bit if I wanted it to be that bright. But you know what, I think I'm okay with it not being that bright. Kind of hoping it might a little bit be that bright, but it's fine, whatever. This is all a review. This is our first time using it. We're testing it out to see how bright it actually comes out, just like it shows in the palette. So far, Saturn and parallel were almost spot on. Sphere, maybe not as much. Okay, so now for the mid to almost the outer lid, let's do, what color do we want to do? We could, oh, I don't know, what am I gonna do? Let's do Throne. You know what, let's do Throne on the rest of the lid, because the other colors are really sparkly and I don't like adding too much sparkle. I usually try to use just one sparkle for each look. The only time I ever use two is more or less trying like highlighting the brow line, but I don't really do too much. I guess I'm just trying to think of like what colors would go with this sphere color, and in this palette I think Throne and Oh Serious work the best. But let's do Throne because it's more of like a teal, it's not quite blue. So like I said, that's one of my favorite colors, so let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to try it with a brush first. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of those ones that you kind of have to use with your fingers for, but let's try a brush first and see how much it picks up and how well it blends into your eye. I mean, it looks like it's picking up quite a bit, so we are about to find out. Moment of truth. so far, using just a brush for it actually works pretty well. I'm going to blend it better, so I know it doesn't look that good right now, but I'm going to blend it a bit more. I might use a different color and blend it. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so before blending, it's actually pretty good. I mean, don't do a swiping motion if you do use the more sheer and sparkly ones, because what happens, if you use ones with sparkle in it and you do a swiping motion, the powder kind of, you know, bursts and will go everywhere. So you try to use a dabbing motion. I mean, it does get some down here, but that's why I do my foundation after. So in this way I can clean everything else up, and then I'll do my foundation and everything should be fine. So that's what I recommend doing, is if you are going to use something that's more like has sparkles in it, or is like just anything really that can kind of go everywhere and get stuck on your foundation, and then you can't really wipe it off. You end up having to almost redo your entire face. Just do your foundation after you're done your eye look and applied your eyelashes and everything. Just because even after you do like your eyelashes, mascara, and your eyeliner and stuff, sometimes you just need to do a bit of a touch-up. If you do a touch-up and you have your foundation on, you're gonna end up getting it everywhere again. So I recommend that is the way to go. I'm thinking what I'm gonna blend actually is I'm gonna blend Dimension. So it's like it's almost like I would say like a purplish bluish color. You can see it here. So, oops. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm actually gonna blend it in just partially where Sphere and Throne are. I'm just gonna blend it in just a little bit, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so I blended Dimension in, and it actually looks really nice. It kind of like goes into like this nice purplish, bluish color. I guess it's more on the purple side, but it like blends so nicely into Throne from Sphere. And if you blend it properly, it does actually look pretty decent. So, okay, so we are ready for the next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply foundation, and the foundation I'm going to be using today is Fenty Beauty. Okay, so my Fenty Beauty shade is 260, and I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty makeup sponge as well. Okay, so now that I'm done applying my foundation, I am going to conceal a little with I'm going to conceal with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I'm just going to apply it to my under eyes, and I'm going to conceal a few of these other little spots here that I have. Okay, so face is prepped, ready to go, and now we can start with contouring and some blush, which I'm excited to show you the new blush that I did get. Okay, so for contouring today, I'm going to use my favorite. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. It is my favorite, it is my go-to. I use it every day, well, almost every day. I use it mainly for my work looks. When I go to work, this is easy for me to quickly kind of just throw on, so that's why I use this one. Okay, so and then for shaping my face around my forehead and down the side of my face, I'm actually going to use a little bit of a lighter color, and I'm going to use this one here, this last one, on the other side. Okay, and then for my nose, I'm actually going to just use this middle color, the lightest one. Alright, so now I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting. For highlighting, I'm still going to use this kit here, and for this, I'm going to use this middle one. Okay, so now that we're done with highlighting, contouring, eye look is done, brows are done, what we're going to do is we're going to do blush, and today I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Kit. This blush kit is in Radiant. I prefer this one because it's more of my tone colors. I don't usually wear blush very often, so when I do, I like it to be a little more subtle. Okay, so we're going to use this one here. I just use a light dabbing motion for this because if I do a swipe, I find that it swipes and then it just looks like one big swipe instead of blending in nicely. Whereas if I do a light dab, it kind of blends in a little bit better and it doesn't look like I just bunched it all in one spot. I don't want my cheeks to look super rosy in one spot. I want it to be a little bit more spread out where it almost looks like it blends into my contouring and my highlighting. So what we're going to do for highlighting today is I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. I haven't used this one yet. I'm really excited to use this one with you guys. Okay, so the highlighter I'm probably going to be using today is I'm actually going to use Starburst. And I'm just going to highlight here in my cheeks so you'll see. So I'm just going to use just a little, you don't want too much. And I'm going to start back here. And swipe and blend. And then I'm going to add just a little on my nose. Okay, and then for here, I'm just going to put it above here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a gumdrop for that because it will blend in a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So this is part of the completed look, but we need one more thing and we need lipstick. Okay, so for lip gloss, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Gloss, and this one is in the shade Kristen. Alright, and there you have it. There's the completed look. Majority of the products were Anastasia Beverly Hills. The only thing that I didn't use or show you today, or the only thing I didn't use for that was Anastasia Beverly Hills, was my concealer, which I used NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and my foundation, which I use the Fenty Beauty foundation. So here is the completed look featuring a bunch of Anastasia Beverly Hills new winter edition palette. So we have the Sugar Glow Kit for highlighter, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit for highlighting and contouring, and then we have this really great lipstick, or lip gloss, sorry, in Kristen from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. For a lip gloss, it's very matte and it doesn't actually apply like a normal gloss would. Usually with gloss you want to apply maybe a lipstick underneath and then you would add on a lipstick on top. With this one, you actually don't need to do that. You can apply this. Like, look, it looks great. I like these. This is a mini size that I got from Sephora because I don't typically buy. I have too many lipsticks. Did I just say that? Did I just say I have too many lipsticks? Yes, I have a few too many lipsticks, so I try to avoid buying new ones. But I did get a sample size of this lip gloss from Sephora, and this is the first time I'm using it, and quite honestly, I would spend the money to buy the full size of these lip glosses by Anastasia Beverly Hills because I actually really like this. It's not very drying at all. It's like almost a matte finish, but it has a little bit of wetness to it as well, which is really great. For the blush kit, like I said before, the Radiant Blush Kit is more my colors. I use it more often because I don't really wear blush that much, but when I do, I'm going to use this one because it is the colors that are a little bit more subtle. They look a little bit better with my skin tone. The other palette was a little bit more intense, a little too intense for my liking. I would almost use those colors more for contouring than I would as a blush. But this one is really great. I love the colors. Next time, I'm probably going to try this other one, this spoiled one that's a light pink and it has like gold speckles in it. So that's probably going to be my next one that I'm going to use for a look. And then we have the Prism palette. So I have the Modern Renaissance palette, and it's actually one of the ones I use the most for a lot of different looks. I create a lot of darker brown looks. I use it for some pink looks as well. I like it because the colors are more for every day, but I can also spice it up a little for a night out look too. But I love that palette. I love the way the eyeshadows are and the way that they're made. This one I feel is a little bit different from the Modern Renaissance. This one is more powdery. I would say use less than more, because when you're using this one, because it's so powdery, the brush picks it up so much that when you apply it, you have like a whole shitload on your eye, and then you have to blend it or it just kind of gets everywhere. So I would recommend using minimal at first and then kind of testing it out from there. But I mean, with the colors, I love them. I love the colors. The sphere color, like I said at the beginning, it did stand out the most to me. But I mean, it actually didn't make a blend too bad. It actually looked pretty good, especially with my skin tone. I was a little worried about that. But it actually looks pretty decent. The only thing is it doesn't look as bright as it does here, but that's will happen with eyeshadows anyway. But all in all, the colors work really well together. I typically wouldn't use or do bright colors like this. As you can probably see from our previous videos, I do more like pinks and browns and more subtle looks. I don't usually do things like this. So this is kind of new for me, but I think I'm going to keep doing stuff like this, especially with this palette, because like I used Throne today, but I've been looking at this Oh Serious color. That one, I can't wait to use it. It's got me. I feel like I need to use it. And then the Glow Kit, all of the Glow Kits are really great. I love them. I can't go wrong. This one is formulated almost the same way as the other ones. It's just different colors, different shades. And again, I love it. It looks great. I can use it for a subtle contour, or I can do it as a more intense contour. Highlight, not contour. Get it together. But this collection for Anastasia Beverly Hills, or these products anyway, I love them. I'm going to continue using them. I would buy them again, and I would recommend them to other people who are wanting to thinking about purchasing them. I would recommend them, especially this palette. I love the colors in it. It looks great with any skin tone. Highly recommend this one.